What if I told you that one man once controlled America's money without being president, without being elected, and without anyone stopping him? In an era before the Federal Reserve, before modern banking rules, one man decided which companies lived, which failed, and even when the U.S. economy survived collapse. His name was J.P. Morgan, and for decades, America ran on his permission. J.P. Morgan wasn't just a banker. He was the banker of bankers. Governments borrowed from him. Railroads depended on him. Industrial giants feared him. At his peak, Morgan controlled more money than the U.S. Treasury itself. This is the story of how one man came to own the American economy. John Pierpont Morgan was born in 1837 into wealth, privilege, and global connections. His father was an international banker, which meant Morgan learned finance not in classrooms, but in real deals, real markets, and real power. By his 20s, Morgan was already moving money between Europe and America. Unlike flashy businessmen of his time, Morgan believed in one thing above all else: control through stability. During the late 1800s, America was chaos. Railroads were collapsing. Companies were destroying each other. Markets were unstable. Morgan saw opportunity. He began consolidating industries, especially railroads, forcing competitors to merge under his supervision. If a company wanted survival, Morgan demanded control. This wasn't capitalism as freedom. This was capitalism as discipline. In 1901, Morgan made history. He merged Andrew Carnegie's steel empire with competitors to create U.S. Steel, the first billion-dollar corporation in history. One company, one industry, one controller. America's industrial age now had a financial king. In 1907, the U.S. faced total financial collapse. Banks were failing, markets were crashing, panic spread nationwide. There was no Federal Reserve, no emergency system. So the government turned to one man. J.P. Morgan locked bankers in his library and forced them to fund a rescue. He personally decided which banks would survive and which would die. That night, America was saved, not by law, but by one banker. But Morgan's power scared people. How could one man hold so much influence? Who controlled the controller? After his death in 1913, the U.S. government finally acted. The Federal Reserve was created, not to copy Morgan, but to make sure no one like him ever existed again. J.P. Morgan never ruled America. He didn't need to. He controlled money, and money controlled everything. Today, his legacy lives on in global banks, financial systems, and the rules that were created because of his power. He didn't own America by law. He owned it by necessity. And history has never seen another man like him again. If you enjoyed this story of hidden power and forgotten history, like, subscribe, and comment below. Was J.P. Morgan a savior or a dangerous monopoly?